Seymour.
See the blue and the purple. The blue is the sky, where the souls of these people will transport to hereafter. Here you see statues of women, so men and women, all members of the family, with memorial inscription in Aramaic. Aramaic, like Arabic, written from right to left, and this is language of Jesus Christ, and this language still spoken in Syria, in Malula and two villages near Malula. An 8%. 280%. So for the posterity, the coming generations of the family, it could be used for 200 years, 4 or 5 generations of the family, till it is full. Years. Still you see years. Have you heard of Seleucus? Seleucus, one of Alexander the Great commanders, in 312 he built Antioch. So 312 was the beginning of his era. So 472 minus 312, it's 168. رولر يعني بتخليه يفتح يسكر. لو سمحتي ما في تصوير. These frescoes are dating back to the beginning of the 3rd century. At the top we have a scene from the Iliad by Homer. In this scene we see Achilles in the middle, hidden in women clothes between the daughters of the king, King Lycomedes of Syros. You know, the oracle said that he would die in the war, so his parents hide him on Syros Island to avoid his destiny. لا إذا الناس بتضل تصور بعد كم سنة ما بيضل في ألوان، ما عاد في شيء يشوفه. So, when the Trojan War started, they started looking for him, and there to the left we see Ulysses. You see Ulysses to the left, he's looking for Achilles. When Achilles saw Ulysses, he was encouraged. He tore off women's clothes and he joined the Trojan War, and there he was killed by an arrow in the heel, Achilles' heel. And you know, when he was drawn into the sacred water, the only part which didn't touch the water was his ankle. That's why it was his weak point. Nowadays they say that everybody has an Achilles heel. What's your Achilles heel? Your husband? Or it could be ice cream, chocolate. Now the question, why this Greek mythology is here in Palmyra? Because this hero Achilles is supposed to be a symbol of eternal soul. The soul of the human being lives and dies on this earth in borrowed clothes. What's the borrowed clothes for the soul? It's the body itself, which the soul leaves at death to move to hereafter. So Achilles here is like the soul, put on faking the clothes. Death, so he achieved immortality through death. And the people of Palmyra believe in this idea. That's why they choose this story. In the vault, inside the circle, you see there is an eagle with a boy. The name of the boy is called Ganymede, and the eagle is Zeus. Zeus wanted a beautiful child to be his cupbearer, so he disguised as an eagle and kidnapped the Ganymede. This is another idea of transporting to hereafter. Down here you see these victories, winged women with black wings. You see them? You see, they stand on black bulls, raising their arms, holding medallions. So, as if they rise the souls from here up to the skies. This is another idea also of transporting to hereafter. The lower frieze at the bottom, you see scenes of animals, goat, gazelle. You see rabbits there. Here you see a peacock and the fox. And the vine tree here, symbol of immortality. This was their image of paradise. Trees, rivers, animals running, grazing, and so on. We can see that it could be a Christian touch with this lady, Palmyrenian lady, who had her child, in a way similar to Madonna with Jesus. And these medallions with photographs of the three brothers and people of the family look like icons of the saints. In most of the underground tombs, there is also on shelves. Also, this is original and this is restoration. Here you see 3 sarcophagi of the 3 brothers, Mali, Saad, and Amay. These are individual tombs, and every tomb is closed by a family scene or family albion. You see the father, grandfather, the wife, sons, daughters, brothers and sisters. They are here not to feel loneliness. Look how the 3 brothers facing each other as if they were in eternal meeting. So they have been here for a long time and they will be forever. Here you see the grandfather, his head is restored with a beard, and you see he put on the black kool. The kool, for women it's makeup, and for men and women also, in addition to be makeup, it protects the eyes from the sun and the sun. Statues and bones. Even though they continue extending the pipeline, on both sides of the pipe they discovered 22 underground tombs. Until now they still find other tombs. There's a Lebanese mission excavating them. So you are supposed to be Baal. In Arabic they call the husband God of the family. بيقولوا رب الأسرة. جاية من بعل. The temple was inaugurated on the 6th of April, 32 AD. This day, the 6th of April, is the day of this god revival. People in ancient times, they believed that this god dies in half of the year and revives the second half of the year. One of the Phoenician mythologies, in one of these mythologies, there were 2 gods, Mot, god of death, and Baal, god of rain and fertility. Baal was increasing in importance, that's why Mot was jealous. He invited Baal to a banquet in the underground well, and there he killed Baal. And he cut his body into pieces and threw them on the mountains. Now Anat, Baal's daughter, wanted revenge. First she collected the pieces of her father's body. Then she killed Mot, burned him, and drained his blood. First, she bring the blood and the ash and pour it over her body, over the body of her father, where he revives again. Well, this is mythology. It's a story. So he revives again, and this revival was on the 6th of April. And that's why when the temple was inaugurated, it was inaugurated on that day, on the day of Baal. And this day was celebrated annually by the local peoples and Bedouins who live around here in the desert. The rituals here, are extended or influenced by the rituals in Mecca pre and post Islam. The rituals here are rituals of procession. Do you know who was the first one who made procession? He was Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yeah. He was the first one who made procession around Al-Kaaba, and after that he offered an animal, sacrificial animal. Here the local people they did the same rituals and bring their sacrificial animals through this small entrance. The temple has a square shape, 210 meters by 205, and this is the biggest temple not only in Palmyra but all over Syria. The sanctuary in the middle, open courtyards all around, and then corridors all around. Here, this space where we stand, the space between the wall and the columns was covered. So it's like the Haram in Mecca. بلا شبه يعني. You see that short column there? That short column is a spiral staircase. You can see traces of 2 steps at the bottom and 2 steps at the top. You see it? That one. So the level of the roof was over the Corinthian capitals, over there.
Look at that.
This style of temple architecture we call Syrian. If you look to the temple over there, it's Greek-Roman, but the courtyard and the corridors all around the courtyard, this is typically Syrian. In the middle of every column, you can see a console or kind of a shelf to hold a statue. Architecturally, this is unique also to Palmyra. The Greek-Roman columns have no, do not have such console. And social-wise, when it comes to the social life of Palmyra, this is a trait. to the social life in Palmyra to honorify wealthy people. In other places, only gods and kings were honorified. While here, donors who pay money, who do something good, exploit for their city, the local senate decides every year to honorify them by making statues for them, putting them on high places, in public places. When we are in the street, we'll see that under these stones there are inscriptions in bilingual, Greek and Aramaic, or Latin and Aramaic, to tell people stories of what those people have done. And this wall is original. How do you know that they are original? First, the color of stone. This stone is limestone. Originally it's white, but 2,000 years under the sun, the color has changed to the golden color. Also the holes. These holes were filled with bronze, clumps of bronze, to lock the blocks together, absorbing shocks of earthquakes. While this tower here is a 12th century reconstruction. You see, there were columns and they fell down, and the Ayyubid used the available raw material to restore the walls and to build defensive towers. Here where you stand is a channel, water pipeline, fresh water pipeline, comes from there, and when we go to the Colonnade Street, we'll see it. It comes here also through this channel, because water was important in the altar. We'll see how. Altar, animals were sacrificed on this platform. Religious men bring the sacred water from that side. They clean the stable, sacrifice the animal, drain blood. It's a very healthy way. Then wash the blood. Washing the blood is called libation. Libation is kind of purification. And wash the blood has a meaning of renewing life. Why in Islam when we sacrifice, when we kill an animal, we drain the blood completely? Because the blood carry all the diseases. When it gets out, the meat will be healthy. You see the floor is slant to drain water, blood and water through this channel. Now it's closed, connected with that channel from outside. This paved area around the altar called the dining room or banqueting room, like restaurant. Here they held banquets at religious occasions, and for these banquets they made invitation cards, like the coin, made of metal or pottery. On the first side you see a photograph of a god, and on the other side name of the donor and date of the party or the banquet. In the middle, right and left, two smaller ones. The entrance is original, while the facade outside is the facade of the fortification, Saladin wall. The outer entrance and the inner entrance are on the same axis, but not axis people. Like that in Egyptian temples. Here you see this floral carving, olive, grapes, orchid, eggs, and over there you see pineapple, fig, and grapes. All these are symbols of life and fertility. In ancient times, only religious men were allowed to be in here. But for the time being, I'll give you a permission. So this is the sanctuary home of priests and gods. Here we see something special to the religious architect in Palmyra. Here we have two adjutants. You see this space here? Like Iwan in all the Damascene and Alifin houses, northern one and southern one. These kind of adjutants were used for the first time in temples here in this temple precisely to put statues of gods. To the right and the left we see Greek-Roman pictures. The Greek and the Roman put statues on pedestal like this one. There were statues of the gods, and the ceiling is one piece of stone. In the middle you see there's a kind of cupola, celestial dome, decorated by statues of the gods. Baal in the middle, surrounded by other gods. You see there's a big circle. On the rim of the circle from underneath, you see the zodiac, the horoscope. Suppose that the circle is a watch. You are looking to a watch at 6 o'clock. What do you see at 6 o'clock? Can you see a fish tail? شايفتي? Next to the black statue. At 5 o'clock, what do you see? Sagittarius. That's right. 4 o'clock, what do you see?
Scorpio.
That's right. 7 o'clock, what do you see?
Gemini.
Gemini. So these four are clear. So Baal was god of gods, responsible for people, gods, fortunes, destinies, for everything. That's why he's at the top and everything goes around in his orbit. شفتن للأبراج? Also, to the left, there's a staircase leading up to the roof, and this part was roofed. We'll see later on how. To the outer side, you see there's an eagle outspreading its wings. On the soffit, you see the posts? On the post, there's an architrave, and the eagle is here from underneath. You see it? His body in the middle.
Yeah, I see it.
Huh? This eagle is Baal. He is like Zeus, like Jupiter. Carries souls and messages from here up to the skies. That's why when it flies, what do you see at the back screen? Next to the stars, what do you see? Or next to the wing, you see the stars, sorry. Did you see the stars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next to the stars, there is a small figure at the corner. This is God of Sun, and opposite to it, God of Moon. So it's like the idea of the Trinity. It remains up there on the top, and also there. So columns carry the frieze, and the frieze in its turn supported the inner roof.
So these fell. This is in 10th century.
11. When we are there, we'll see the mihrab of the mosque, which faces Mecca, there inside. Saint Michel, Saint George, the Holy Spirit. These are remains of the church.
And the church was when?
From the 4th century, after 312, till and this is the mihrab of the mosque. The ceiling here is a masterpiece of carving. It's one piece of stone, 4 by 4 meters. The flower in the center is the sun, and these flowers are stars and planets. We can say that this is how they imagine the cosmos. There is a labyrinth. You see the labyrinth? These broken, integrated lines. Labyrinth means eternity. It has no beginning, no end. This style of decoration was very popular in Europe in the 18th and the 19th century. How? In 1751, 2 English travelers visited Palmyra. Wood and blocks, and the movement. The blocks, there's a big difference in temperature between the day and the night. The blocks expand and contract. With this elastic means it absorbs the movement, like these spaces which vary between the railways. This portal was not here, and I've been many times to the roof. But now, even if it were open, I won't do it. I don't do it. Now, usually children have... This is an architrave or bridge to carry the roof. There were 32 columns. Over every column there was a stone like this, on 18 meters high. This column is decorated from 3 sides. We start here first. You see, this is a god. Aerial gods have a halo, like saints. This is God of Moon, characterized by the lunar crescent. This is Baal, God of Sun. There are 2 religious men offer sacrificial animal for the gods. Fruit, like Buddhists, like Egyptians. This is pomegranate, this is pineapple, apple, pine, corn. So this is the way that people approached the gods. They offered sacrificial animals, food, fruit, for the gods to be content. When gods are content with people, they will send fertility, blessing, grace, and so on. Because sometimes when the rain stops, naturally it stops for a while, they thought that Baal was angry. So directly they start offering animals, sacrificing animals, bringing food, fruit to the temple of this. Try to see what's underneath. And you can film it also.
Wow.
You see Pegasus, the winged horse, you see Athena, you see Isis. عنب ايوه بشكل
عنب قديم كتير.
بس شوف انت يعني شوف النحت عنده آلاف السنين شوف حسبه كأني عنقود جديد لسه.
Here you see gods in Roman military fashion. These gods are fighting this dragon. And the dragon at that time was portrayed as a woman. This
Still.
dragon,
Hey, hey, hey.
watch out. Why they fight this dragon? Because this dragon cut Palmyra of its sources. You see the jar is a symbol of wellspring. When the gods defeated this monster, Palmyra retained its sources again, and we see this flourishing of the grapes. This is very oriental idea, and this is a classic. Egg is life, newborn, new beginning, resurrection. The dart, the arrow is death. Every life comes to an end. After this, there will be another revival. It's the cycle of life, cycle of eternity. Inside this hoda, or let's say tent, it's not tent, it's kind of hoda, they put the statue of the god, and people with animals, with religious men, they make the procession. What you see here, like modern art, like plastic art, these women in veil. So the use of the veil was also in this area, and this is at least 6th century. سلامات أنا بالخار. You know, this is at least 6 centuries before Islam. So the use of the veil was very on in this area. When you see these columns, I think now you can close your eyes and you can visualize the temple. Peristyle all around here, down outside all around, open courtyard, and once again all around corridors. You see that stone which juts out, it's a broken arch trap. It connects the column to the wall. That's why when it's over there, you see it from underneath. And over every column, you see there's a slot for another arch trap.
What are the Corinthian?
Corinthian bronze capitals. Corinthian bronze or metal capitals, while here, so outside the columns are blank, while here fluted. So to change the side, to add more decoration, and these are older than the others. Under this temple, there are two older ones. The first one going back to the 4th century BC. You see its remains down there. And then they make excavations. They dig 14 meters underneath. They found another older temple from the 22nd century BC. 2,200 years before Christ. And this coincides with the first record of Tadmor existence. So the old Arabic Semitic name is Tadmor, while Palmyra is the Roman name from the palm tree, Palma Palmyra. And this record was found in Cappadocia, in Turkey. The local people lived here till 1929. So this house is the guest house of archaeologists, and originally it was my grandfather's house. My father was born here in 1928, 1 year before the evacuation.
So what happened in 1929?
You know, in the
وصلوا
front,
تحت بالحفر وصلوا للشيء
حفروا 14 متر تحت، لقوا تحت اساسات من الطين، قطع اساسات المعبد القديم، ولقوا قطعه من الفخار. عن طريق دراسه الفخار، هاي اللي بسموه سي 14 او الكربون 14، توصلوا لعمر المعبد، لعمر صناعه الفخار، يعني بهذيك الفتره، مقارب لهذيك الفتره. وهذا الكتاب اللي بكابادوشيا بتركيا بتذكر تدمر.
So
Ionic, the origin of this, you know, the motive came from the horn of the ram, and originally this style is Babylonian and Assyrian. Then the Persian took it from them. Then the Greek took this style from the Persian. And you see there are other blocks with the same shape. That's block, and there are two here, the same shape. This is the corner column. if you put piece upon the other, it will make a column, a corner column like that. So there you see, as if they were two columns, but in fact it is one column. So it will have this shape, like that, also at the corner. But I think that the architect was in love at that time.
شايفه؟ ولو عشان تغسيل وذا؟
هي لا، هذا بالفترة الأيوبية. هي قطعة من عمود حفروها مشان تصير ترف. For the animals, and this is we call sabil.
For water?
For water, for people. وهو بالشارع تصير تشرب من ورا يعني. In fact, it's the commercial center. On both sides, there are shops. Over here, we see shops entrances. The colonnade starts at the temple, and it walks through the town to the end of the town, 1,200 meters length. The colonnade street is usually straight, but here in Palmyra, when they built the street in the 2nd century AD, it was impossible to be straight because there were older buildings have been already built. Here, there, Nabu Temple, and on the same side, on the same line, the amphitheater. To avoid destroying these older buildings, the street was built like this, zigzag. So this is the temple, and here we are at the arch. There are two buildings here. If it were straight, it will destroy them. To avoid destroying them, it was built like this. You see the columns go this way and then change direction. After those towers up there, it veers to the right. Here, the arch here has a unique shape in Palmyra. It has a V letter shape. See, it's a double arch. Originally, there were two arches, this here and another one over this section. Why it is a double arch? Because it's an architectural solution hiding the change of direction of the main avenue. How it works? You are here, automatically you change your direction because of the arch, and because of the columns, right and left, they direct your sight. And on the other way, when you are there, also automatically you change your direction because there are columns right and left, and you see the entrance of the temple. Original, still standing. We know that through the golden color and through these carving. When you compare it to the smaller arch to the left, it has been restored by the French in the 30s. You see the difference in the color and in the quality of the carving. Also, this arch appeared in the drawings of those English travelers who came here in the 18th century. The colonnade street is and two corridors, right and left. The main thoroughfare was open to the skies, while the corridors right and left were roofed. So the space between the columns and the shops, you see shops entrances there. Here it was covered, open, covered. And I'll show you an evidence of the roof. If you look up there, you see a lion opens its mouth. See it? On the columns, there was a channel. When it rains, rainwater come down through the lion mouth like a gargoyle. Durek. Nabu is Babylonian god, son of Marduk, god of gods in Babylonia. You see this channel underneath for the sewage, and here This is a public toilet. But it was, of course, hidden, not so public like now. You see over there 4 granite columns from Aswan, south of Egypt, to decorate the entrance of the bath. Here, this is, we can say, a sub-entrance or an exit. The hinge of the stone door. The bath is Roman, divided into 3 sections called warm hot. يعني مثل براني وسطاني وجواني. You see this octagonal hole? This is the cold section where people come here finally after they finish training in the gymnasium, swimming in the swimming pools. They come here to relax, drink something, eat something before they leave out. In the middle there was a fountain to refresh the atmosphere. You see there was a door here, so this room was separate from the rest of the bath. Should be closed away from noise, from the steam, and from the heat. Here, this is the reception hall where people pay entrance fees. Then they go to that room where they change clothes. And then there are 2 swimming pools. We'll see them here.
اسالك حضاره شوف حضاره اكثر من هلا
كان في صدق هلا ما عاد في صدق. There's a channel underneath. It draws hot water from the oven, and these lines are deliberately made for the steam to come up in winter for heating. And here you see a huge swimming pool. First you see columns. There were columns all around to carry the central dome. The ground floor here was clad with marble, Carrara from Italy. We have a few pieces left. In fact, this bath was for men, because such bath in such city was used by the caravans. Those people who have been traveling for a long time, long distances, they need a place to relax, to clean their bodies.
Like a public bath.
It's a public bath. Also for those who are away from their wives, we can make fun here. شايفين هاي الخام الإيطالي اللي كان يغلطوا فيه الأرض. You see, this is what has been left of the marble which cover the ground floors, and this is Carrara from Italy. You see Carrara from Italy, granite from Aswan. They had a lot of money and they didn't know how to spend it. That area over there is the oven. You see red bricks. This is one of the system boilers where they heat the water. And this is another swimming pool. You see it's small with the steps and the bricks from the inner side to preserve hot water. Hot close to the oven, little bit further warm, and at the end it's cold. So the whole area here was a bath, public bath. From the beginning of the street to its end. Here you see a pillar to tie a horse or a camel or whatever you like. There's another one.
Wow.
رفاهيه شديده في كمان هي
Playing for the fashion show.
Circular shape around the amphitheater. The intersection, the meeting point, is marked by an arch. So you see the arch marks the intersection. CIA.
It's a women's fashion show. They could
Those are CIA. So you see the columns and the shops, and here there's a corridor. It's roofed all around. أكيد لو عرض أزياء للرجال, I'm sure if it were men fashion show, you won't see anybody here. ممكن بس هلا لافتنا معطيين الحجة يعني ما هي حلوة.
كلكم انا وهذاكم يعني كل شيء شفتوا اثركم وهل مرمى
لو سمحت. احكي أي شيء.
Oh,
You mind to stand here and speak up?
Oh, so you can hear everything?
This is the acoustic center, مركز الصوت. So in old time they didn't have all these soundtrack or this is what they have, the acoustic center. The same effect is achieved on the stage. So when the orator stands here and addresses the people, the summoned people here, he will be audible. Here we have a mix of a Greek theater and Roman amphitheater. The Greek theater is evident here with the stage. The wall is Roman. Behind the wall there are back scenes. This courtyard here is a gladiator. That small entrance is supposed to be for the wild animals. The barrier is short, but in the barrier there are holes. When they fill it with iron bars vertically and horizontally, there will be a fence. The theater, or yes, the wall fell down. The theater was destroyed by an earthquake, and the whole area was under sand till 1952. In 1952, it has been an earth. In the 60s, this wall has been rebuilt using the original raw material. When it fell down like a domino, a block after the other, they rebuilt it again. The soffit over there under the triangle, under the pediment, is concrete. And you see over there these beautiful, superb carving. If you want, there's a beautiful view, a panoramic view from the top. See that the wall is higher than the steps. They suspect that the theater, the auditorium was larger. There were other rows of wooden steps. Why they suspect so? Because the whole area was covered under black ash. Down there you see remains of the black ash. And the black ash was up to here on a level of 4 or 5 meters. And the black ash only around here. So it should be remains of burnt wooden steps.
so it was a fire.
Fire.
That's why the mosque stopped being used.
The mosque, no. The mosque stopped to be used when the people were evacuated out in 1929 in the temple.
And they were evacuated.
Well, you know, it was for good because it's better to protect the antiquities. Yes, for protection. So people at the beginning were sad, but I think after that they realized that it is for good.
أربعة.
هي رايحين عندها هلا هي اسمها تترا بايلون هلا راح تشوفها. To Russia. And now it's in the Hermitage in St. Petersburg. This inscription is the Palmyra tariff code or tax code. This law orders taxes was enacted by the local senate in 132, and it orders taxes on caravans, slaves, animals, the use of water, everything coming and out of the town have to pay taxes. Even prostitutes pay taxes.
American system.
Oh, no, prostitutes don't pay taxes.
They means market. So the Colonnade Street with the shops right and left, this is the Oriental Souk Bazaar. While this is the Greco-Roman style, an open space where the caravans meet. The main entrance is there at the city wall. The chief of the Agora stand here to start the auction, and there are two trucks, one here and another one over there. Also the Agora was used for political purposes, political meetings. One of the Senate, for example, stand here and address the people, telling them what's going on concerning politics, commerce. You see, it's a huge building. You know, it takes a lot of caravans. The importance of Palmyra is due to its location in the middle of the desert between two hostile empires, Rome in the west and Persia in the east. So it was like a neutral zone or free zone, like Switzerland in the Second World War. It was in a place rich with water sources on the shortcut desert street. So the caravan which crossed the desert have to pass through Palmyra. The Palmyrenian, to encourage caravans to come to Palmyra, they mobilized a special army called Miharist, or soldiers of the desert, to protect the city routes of trade and the caravans. There were groups of these people escorting the caravan. One of the Palmyrian officers, this man rescued a caravan from the thieves. When the caravan arrived safe to Palmyra, the Senate decided to honorify this man by making statues for him, put one of them here and another one in the Colonnade Street. This occasion took place in 199, 189 roughly, or 98, 99, 98 after Christ. So everybody do an exploit, do a good thing, donate. In this oven they found glass shards and silicon, this material which they use to make the glass. Outside Palmyra. Look how the blocks fit into each other like tongue and groove. And this piece was movable to clean the pipe. This is from the 3rd century. In the 6th century it was broken. They extend a new one. You see it here made of ceramic.
Without the next man.
Okay, I'll take them out.
Oh. صخر.
والله عمي بس شوي خليه يتصور.
سوفينير.
خلينا نقول شيء من 5 ساعة من الحلقة كذا بس
والله مشكل اللي عارضين الازياء
لا عارفين. الحضور.
هذول بيجوا ناس من برا بس في اهل يعني الناس good for small streets. That is the second small street. It's a monumentary building. على هذه سلامات هلا. In the center of each pylon there is a statue, you see it? Originally they were built with granite columns, but they fell down by the earthquake. In 1964 they have been restored using faking columns, concrete. Only that column, the second one, is original. The whole base is original, the tops are original, the capitals are original, and this original column gives us the original size. Because the original columns were badly destroyed, so it was difficult to reuse them. Tandem. This is the civic area where rich people lived inside the city wall.